because I think that resilience takes you through, because life is not always a bed of roses. No. There's going to be, if you haven't failed, you haven't succeeded, right? So failure is the stepping stone to success. Yeah.
Hi everybody, we have Sofi Hirani here with us today. This is our third interview that we're doing.
Third. Yes.
Yes.
And all very amazing women that we've been speaking to.
Sure. And we have our mocktail today, which is a Blackberry Lime spritzer, I guess.
Yes, refreshing for a California afternoon.
Yes, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce Sofi. So we've known each other a very long time. I mean, our kids went to school together.
Right.
We were in the same faith-based community, and we're in the same book club.
Yes.
So we were at one of our book club meetings, and you said something that really resonated with me, and I was like, okay, I really want to get to know Sofi better. I don't know, just what you said just really, it meant something to me. You said that you are, you're a very positive person, and that you don't like to put yourself in situations where you feel negativity or judgment. You just will avoid those places. And I was just like, oh wow, that's such a good way to put that, and a good way to just say that. And I see that you do that, right? I mean, where you show up,
practice
and
it
so
all the time.
yeah. So tell us more about that. I mean, what brought on that mindset, and how did you nurture it?
Okay, so I think it's the upbringing. So my dad was always my hero. He was a very successful criminal attorney. My grandfather was a judge, and they're very progressive thinking. I was raised in India, and my dad was succeeding in all fields, and it was a lot of hard work. So I saw his work ethic, everything. He was a criminal attorney, so I knew there would be a lot of negativity in there, in the work and all. Right. But he never ever brought that home, or, he always spoke as if, he was always positive about it, looking at the next thing. And I think that cultivated that sense of positivity in me, and the winning spirit. I think I got it from him, and he was always my biggest cheerleader. Also, I was also in a networking business where we were taught the power of the spoken word. Right, so we would read books, like literally devour books, like any book. I think I've read it, and we started with like being happy, and how to win friends and influence people, and think and grow rich, and Psycho-Cybernetics, and how 5 love languages, and everything, how to become the best salesman in the world. So I read all the books, and I loved them. We literally had a book club, and we had to finish one book every month. And literally, I taught my kids that too. When they were little, they would read a book, and I would put $50 in their bank account savings. So, and they would have to write me a book report. So, yeah.
Wow.
So I think I always believe in the power of the spoken word. That whatever you speak and you put out in the universe, comes back. So always be positive, right?
Yeah.
And there's so much more positivity in the world, actually, if you really go to see, right?
Yeah.
So,
And then what made you realize that you need to protect your positive energy and the good vibes?
Did you come across negative, that kind of like off kiltered or misaligned you, where you had to like, okay, I have to reach back into that? Or have you always mindset is positivity?
Yeah, I think I've always been even growing up, I've been a very happy child. Yes. And then a happy adult, I guess. So yeah, obviously there were a lot of setbacks in life and things like that, but I always chose to speak positive. Like literally, I would even tell my husband, like, oh no, don't say that, because it could come true. You have to speak positive. Like there's, like my dad's always said that, there is no going back, or like, don't talk about, oh, this won't work. You just make it work, because there's always solution to every problem, right? And I always became a problem solver. And I think with that attitude, with that positive attitude, that, you can always navigate life with that thought process, with that mindset.
But there was nothing that ever happened that said that that made you realize you consciously have to protect your positivity, or like, because you said you don't go to places where you feel negativity or judgment.
Yeah, so Not really that I can recall
just
of
something
any
that you've
incident.
always-
Yeah. Or even wherever I go, I try to stay positive. Or if I feel that people are just going to talk, a lot of negative things, because there's a lot of negativity around us,
Right.
then I would just excuse myself, or I wouldn't say anything. But the next time, I wouldn't want to, associate with them, or associate with a certain group. And probably that's why I don't have that many friends. And books are my best friends. And my children and my husband are my best friends. So
I love it.
yeah.
I love it. I love that mindset of just like problems aren't really problems that you can't overcome. They're more
Right.
just like tests or obstacles or almost like a puzzle where like,
Right.
okay, well, thank you, problem.
Yeah.
Let's figure this
Right.
out because
Right.
everything is figure outable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Literally on my desk it says that problem solver, right? Or I don't remember, but yeah, something like problem solver or something like that. I put it.
Seeker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
And I think that helps in every every stage of life, right? Because every day you're
Yeah,
going to be
absolutely.
facing with something or the other. So how do you navigate that and look at the positive side of it? Okay, like for example, okay, something has happened, so it's okay, it's happened, right? Now what
Yeah.
next? I'm not going to cry about it because I cannot change it. We cannot go backwards,
Right.
right? Okay, so there should be some kind of a solution, right? So let's think about it, right? What is the next step? What should we do? How should we minimize, the setback or the pain or the loss, right? What can I do, right? How do I solve it? So that's how I look at everything. Even with my own business, with real estate, same thing. I mean, there's so many obstacles with every file, right? Every transaction. So how do you navigate that? Like, there's always a solution, right? I mean, literally, if you're in a transaction, and I was selling a hotel, and the city closed down the hotel with a lot of violations. Okay, so my husband's like, "There's no way you can sell this hotel." I said, "No, there is a way, and I will sell it, and I will find a buyer," and I did, right? Because there's always a way. You could. There's so many positives to that building, to that business, that somebody could buy it and turn it around.
It's an opportunity.
It's an
Yeah.
opportunity in disguise. So that's
Yeah.
how I always look at things.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, well then that's easily going to segue into your career
Mhm.
because you're in real estate, commercial real estate, which is, I mean, I think a very, I don't know, mostly male-dominated
Mhm. Yes.
place where I attune like aggressive natures to that commercial
Yeah.
area.
Mhm.
How were you able to like make your mark and be quite successful in it by your own rules, by your own way of dealing with other people and during the transaction?
Luckily, I never felt like, even though it's a male-dominated industry, especially commercial real estate, and there's very few realtors that are females, but I don't know, I never felt that way, and I was just very confident. I speak the lingo, I understand the business, and in fact, I always felt like with the clients, they liked me because I had a lot of background in the business. Owned and operated hotels with my husband, my family, gas stations, shopping centers. So I already came with that experience. So I thought I could, again, navigate it better, understand it right away, understand what exactly they want, and that's what sales is about, right? You find a need and you fill a need, right?
Mm-hmm.
So never felt like that I am in a male-dominated industry,
Mm-hmm.
and I conduct myself with a lot of confidence, and then they respect me,
Nice.
and I think I get along with all of them.
Yeah. So what would be your big point of advice for a woman who
Mhm.
wants to get into commercial real estate?
It's not difficult at all. It's just like if you're selling residential real estate, it's exactly the same thing. It's the same thing that, you just have to find the buyer or the client's need, and then find the property that totally matches their criteria and only present them with that, and then give them a lot of options. But first of all, listen. I think more than anything, people don't want to listen. So
Mhm.
if you listen to them, you will understand what exactly they're trying to do. Like each client is so different. Like for example, somebody that wants to move, let's say from Minnesota, and he already owns a hotel there, and he wants to come to California. Obviously, the property is going to be way more expensive here. Why does he want to do that, right? Because he wants his child to come here and have better schools, more friends,
Motivation,
right?
yeah.
So that is the motivation. Then you hold on to that, and you run with that idea that how am I going to find him a property that he can afford, right? Where in a city with good schools, where his wife can maybe find, if she's in a medical background, for example, find a job right away there, and a property that is value add, right? Things like that.
Yeah.
And you find that, and you help them. And the way I add more value than a lot of other realtors or brokers is this, because I listen to them. I know exactly what they want, and then I show them how they can, add more value to the property. Like, for example, like let's say that you were to buy an independent hotel, and I would have connections and relationships with all the franchise managers. Like, they could convert it into a Wyndham, they could convert it into a Choice, they could convert it into a IHG. And would they get key money? Would they get some incentive, or would they get a better rate, or would they get a flat rate? As far as the franchise fees, and that would help them, with a lot of savings. So let's say if it is the current owner is making X amount, how will this client of mine make X plus one? Right? I gave him that story even before I take him to show the property, or they go to show the property, or they review the numbers. So, all the time I'm adding value to my client. And this is just one example. There's every client I think works with me because I add value to their the next transaction, or I'm solving their problem in some way, right?
Right.
So I'm still again a problem solver there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
I love
that's
it.
such an easy advice, right? Listen, and I think we could apply that to anything, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's a personal relationship or business dealings or professionally, just anywhere.
Just listen.
Right? I mean, it's just,
really hear the person and respond.
Yeah.
I mean,
we don't always do that. We're always ready to talk.
What's next?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
That's really good. That's your way of trying to
And other than that,
value.
like if you're selling residential real estate, we have a lot of classes. Like, and the local board has like tons of classes. Every year there's 8 or 10 sessions. And when I started, I would go to all those classes. So I would go attend the same class every year.
Okay.
And every time, even if I would know 80 or 90% of it, I still want to attend, because that 10% is very important. If I can get one nugget for somebody who is ahead of me, several years over and have so much more experience, then why wouldn't I go? And that class only costs $25, right? So it's just about that mindset, to learn to become a sponge in the business. Anything you do, any field, right? We didn't learn anything. Like, I'm a physical therapist by education.
Oh, really? I never knew that about you.
Yeah. So when
Amazing.
I came to the United States, I got plunged into business right away, because my husband was a business owner. He was a student, but he already owned a business, and I learned the ropes of business. But I was very passionate, and I just love to succeed in everything. So I became a student of the business, and I did the same thing in real estate. And I'm still a student of the business, and I would still, every single day, I want to learn at least something new about real estate.
Yeah. Well, do you ever feel intimidated by the other side, by the other broker?
By the other broker?
Yeah.
No, not really. Not intimidated, but I would make sure that, I would read all the contracts really well, because sometimes I feel like, 1 or 2 clauses can totally throw you off, right? I learned that. Most of them are very transparent, but sometimes you can get one of those where, you have to read every clause. So I take that time, and I read that. I think that's the only thing that I learned, that, you have to be very careful.
Yeah.
That one clause can change everything, and they could put in something that could, derail everything. So exactly. So I think that, but then I would face them up front. I would tell them, don't play games. Okay?
I love it. I read my contract. Yeah.
And usually it's always a man that you're dealing with.
Always.
Always. Is there anything that you wish that men would understood about working with women?
Yes. Just know that we are as smart as you are, if not smarter. Right?
We read our
Yeah.
contracts.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do too.
A woman is the one that gave birth to a man, so women have to be smarter, actually. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love it. Could go on and on about that
You really
subject.
could, I know.
I was in a transaction where the guy was like, "Oh, I guess you know your contract better than I do." I'm like, "You had your client sign the little addendum that I added to it. I assumed you knew about it." He's like, "Oh, okay. Well, we trust you." Does your buyer trust you? Because you just paid over $200,000 above asking.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they went for it. They did it. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
it's always interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean,
Yeah.
it could happen with a woman too, who
Yeah,
comes in
yeah,
with super
yes.
ego or whatever
Yeah.
else, and
Yeah.
just like, okay, you
Yeah.
know, it's just a small property, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But still, like, you're still representing your client, man or woman. You can't go in and think, oh, easy, I got this, I bid over, I'm going to get the property. No, but there's still other steps, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, so yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That's
We
always
have to
interesting
do
when
our
you
homework and
find
read
a
everything
person.
and know
Yeah.
as much as we
That's
educate
why, like,
ourselves.
we
Yeah.
deserve every penny we make, right? It's
Yeah,
a tough business.
it's a tough
Right,
business,
right.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Get me 500 over. Okay. I could get you a person to pretend he can offer you 500 more, but once you're in contract,
Yeah.
you know, you got to deal with appraisal, you got to deal with all this
Yeah.
other
Yeah,
stuff.
it's not
and
gonna
then,
appraise.
Yeah, there's
Right.
yeah. So, it could go on and on and on.
So let's shift gears here a little bit here. So
Okay.
let's talk about your children. So, you know, you have 2 adult children that are in very different careers. What environment did you create that allowed them to just kind of choose their own paths? And
I think both of them are growing up. They're very ambitious, and I think they saw me reading a lot of books, and they read books. Also, when we were in the networking business, they listened to a lot of positive mental attitude tapes. That time there were tapes, cassettes.
right, cassettes. Yeah.
And every time we would be driving, those are the only ones playing. Literally, they would make a deal. Okay, Mom, while going there, can we listen to this? While coming back, can we listen to a Bollywood song? I'm like, okay, yes. So literally, they both, in fact, they have that, had that ambition of always winning and, pretty much chasing their dreams. And they saw that, we introduced them to a lot of people that were,
really?
already like multimillionaires, and they had made it not by themselves, right? So they met all those people, they talked to them, and I think that helped them a lot. And then the good schools, I always wanted to send them to private schools. That was my dream, so I did that. And not necessarily just because it was a private school that, it's a better school, but it's just that I went to a private school and I wanted them to get that exposure. And I think it was the environment, and my husband and myself, we also were in different businesses, and they saw us winning, losing sometimes, right? But no dull moment, we would pick ourselves up and we're in the next, so they saw that, and even today they look at that, and they are so resilient. They've become very resilient looking at us, and I think I'm very proud of that, because I think that resilience takes you through, because life is not always a bed of roses.
No.
There's going to be, if you haven't failed, you haven't succeeded, right? So failure is the stepping stone to success.
Yeah.
So I think that they get that resilience, that ambition, that drive, from the environment that we created. I think every dinner story was always about some business, some investment, some idea. Literally now when they say, oh, I have a new idea, Mom, I don't want to listen to it. So it's just a joke, like, okay, I have a new idea. I'm like, no, idea 101, no.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And your son is an actor, and for like South Asian and mostly Asian, we always want doctor, accountant, attorney. Your daughter's an attorney.
Yes.
So, I mean, and how did you, I'm sure you were supportive of that because he's still doing that.
Yes.
How did you encourage that?
So he was a investment banker right out of college, for a couple of years, doing a good job and enjoying it, but not really enjoying it. He was not passionate about it. He was very good at it, and I never knew that he was interested in acting.
Really?
He didn't tell us. Growing up, we enrolled them in all kinds of activities. So they did Bollywood dancing, they did dramas and skits, and all the swimming and all basketball, all that. But along the way, I think he enjoyed that more. the Bollywood, and they grew up around that. We visited India very often because my parents live there, so they're very, very. Yeah, they love the culture there and things like that. So my son, he's like, Mom, I want to put this on hold for some time, and I want to go to acting school, And I said, have you thought about it or thought over and everything, and you're sure? And, if you're really passionate about it, go for it. Mm-hmm. And in fact, my husband also said, look, when we came here, we had to do what we had to do, right? But now, we're here. So just go ahead, because we don't want you to ever regret that you didn't try or you didn't, follow your passion. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we were very supportive, and he's done well. It's very, very difficult stream. Yeah, even way more difficult than any business we've done.
Right.
So, but he is doing it. He's very resilient and very, very hardworking. So, I'm sure. Yeah.
So proud. I mean, and that's the key, right? We have to listen to our kids and say do what you're passionate about, because in the end, that's what you're all about and who you are. I can't force you to be a doctor or this. It's always going to have to come from the heart, because you will. Because I did go to law school.
You did?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And it was mostly because I worked in a law firm with very high-powered attorneys that sounded like they had absolutely no clue, but they could bark a loud bark. I could do that. I could totally do that. So that found me in law school.
Okay.
And I could do it. I could do school. I was very academic, but I wasn't passionate about it. Okay. And that's where it got misaligned, but with the expectation from my parents of, she's going to be an attorney, and then that pressure, and me saying I felt the pressure to keep up that facade,
right?
But then that totally just misaligned me, and it was so, long story short, I have kids now, and I'm just do what you want to do, because in the end, that's the key to your future, who you are, and
you feel more fulfilled and happy,
right?
Yeah,
your purpose, right?
Mm-hmm. So, absolutely, yeah. My
So,
daughter did the same thing. She went to school. She has a degree in neurobiology.
Yeah. Oh wow!
But decided that no, I want to go back to culinary school and become a chef. So she's doing
beautiful.
it.
Yeah.
And they're
That's
happy,
amazing.
right?
They're
happy.
Yeah.
And that's when they're happy, we're happy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Pat on the back, So, good.
Yeah.
So proud.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. So I think the idea behind Midlife Pivot is to talk to women our age who are, going through different chapters and how that looks like for them. I guess my question to you is what is your reflection? What is your advice for how you've pivoted, if you'd had to pivot, or what are you looking forward to in the future of these new chapters for you, or is it a new chapter? I mean, your story sounds like I'm resilient. I see obstacles as just opportunities. Versus maybe other women who are just okay, kids are grown. That was how I identified myself. But now that they're off and away to college, what do I do now? What can you give as advice from your experiences? Yeah.
For me, I always thought that age is just a number, right? So actually, it never mattered. I still don't even feel like there's any difference. I still feel that I work the same way I used to work before and function with the same tenacity and passion, and also the good thing is I never felt that way because of one reason, and that is that while my kids were growing up, it's not that I put my life on hold or anything. I literally grew up with them because I got married so early, had kids so early, right? So I literally grew up with them. So if I put them in a dance school, right, in a Bollywood, I was the main person dancing. I danced with the main lead. Yeah. He was younger than me, but who cares? Not very young, but but we literally did a whole dance show, and there were 40 people in that dance number, and I was the lead, right? So I did all that. I was very fond of going for the Navratri. It's going on right now, and we would go all the days, and we'd take my kids, and they would dance, and we would dance, and so we literally did everything. traveling wise, we took them out a lot wherever we traveled, even for meetings, for seminars when we traveled, we would take the kids with us.
Right.
So it didn't feel like a disconnect with the with the passing of time. I still feels the same. My kids, I'm like, they're my best friends. I talk to my daughter at least 2 to 3 times a day, every day.
Wow.
I talk to my son at least once a day. I know everything about them. They share everything with me. I'm so blessed that way. I would know everything that's going on in their lives. My daughter, should come visit me every 2 to 3 weeks, no matter where she is. And my son the same way, and so it never felt like there's any change. My house is still full of life and love with the kids around, right? Because at least one of them is there, coming or going. You know?
Yeah.
So we don't feel like, that we are by ourselves. And I hope it stays that way, And yeah,
I love it. I kind of had a sense of that for you.
Yeah, that's
like,
how,
I'm like,
you get that off.
Yeah. She
always
traveled
knew,
with them and kept, your career and everything, but still very close to your kids. And it was,
like
it was
literally
a nice-
this today that I'm here, they know about it. They knew the questions. My son's like, Mom, you want to prepare? I'm like, no. And my daughter's like, Mom, don't tell Azim. It'll make you prepare. I was like, I don't want to prepare. He's like, no, but you should say this. I said, no, I want to say what I want to say.
Right, yeah. And we texted back and forth yesterday, and she goes, I don't have the questions anymore, because it took us a while to schedule this and get here.
Right.
And I was like, well, I can send them to you again. And she was like, no, I think it's better if we just don't. And I agree. That,
Right?
Yeah,
It is
organically,
yeah.
We don't know where the
But yeah, like we do share that bond, literally my daughter buys all my clothes, all my skincare, everything. So yeah, she's like my BFF.
So nice. I love that.
Okay, so advice for a mom who whose kids are grown, but see, it just goes back. You've always had a great relationship. I think me and my kids are going through our stages of letting go, coming back, letting go.
Yeah.
So it's but I want to maintain that closeness. Like, we're going on summer vacations together, and just I like being with my parents.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to leave them. I enjoy them,
Right.
So is it more just like an energy of just like when, in the end, we're your parent, we love one another, we're family, and
right.
open arms, open always.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah.
Because as they get older, they do get fun.
Yeah.
In a different kind of way.
Yeah.
But it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
So
obviously we don't advise them anymore.
Yeah, not as much, right? That's why I wish I had a girl. I'd like to have another wardrobe. Yeah.
So I've been following your Insta for a while now, and you have a very good presence on social media. You always sound confident. You know what you're going to say. What's your advice for
social media?
How do you put yourself out there? Because I see all your little reels that you put out there, and you're always knowledgeable and just straight to the point. I'm having such a hard time doing that. How do you do that?
Because I feel like social media is so important, right? Because whoever is seen more is the one that's going to win, right? If you're not seen, then you're not winning, right? Because what do we do all day? Who are we with more than anybody else? Our phone, right? And everybody is on their phone. Like, nobody's doing anything else other than like scrolling and sometimes that's a good way to unwind too. Looking at reels, right? Or recipes that you're never going to make.
Right? The talking cat. I love the talking cat.
Or the, movie stars and things like that, right? Yeah. So I felt that, social media is the way to go. If then what happens is you don't have to do any lead generation. Everything comes to you when you're out there and you're talking about what you're doing. Literally, like if you're living your life, you're just putting it out there. And I don't do it as much as I should. Yeah. And I should do more. I want to open my, YouTube channel. Haven't done that yet. But it's in the works. But apart from that, right, like that sets you apart. That what are you saying is that somebody is not saying, right?
Right.
So literally, when I go to somewhere, like I was in Sacramento, and I met somebody at church, and they're like, "Oh, we missed your reels. We haven't seen that in a while."
Yeah.
That means people are watching.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm watching. Yeah.
Right. And then literally, I'm closing a deal with them next week. Right. Buying a shopping center. Yeah. So just came out of nowhere. And then this guy in Houston that I got the listing from for a gas station for about 9 million is also somebody that watched me on Facebook, and somebody told him like, and then I get so many texts and calls like, oh, somebody told me that you sell hotels, so can you help me with this? We have this, we have that, there's this problem, that problem, you think you could do it, that kind of thing. So all that comes from social media. So I think that is very, very important. That's the only way for lead generation. All that knocking doors and all that is history, postcards. We literally throw it, right?
Yeah.
So and this is free, and they get to know you, right, without knowing you.
Yeah, that's the hard part, right? How do you sound genuine and authentic and not like self-conscious, right? I mean, how do you? Is there any tricks that you have that you can share?
So basically what I'm trying, when I talk on social media, I'm just trying to connect with people, but being very, very genuine and upfront. And it's literally what I do every day, right? So that's what I tell them. Like, for example, like, if I'm going to, let's say, sell a hotel, like I have a listing in Bakersfield, Super 8, right? And the numbers, on paper don't look that great. But then why is it still a great, investment for somebody? And that's whatever I think I would tell them, that I think that you could convert it into another brand, and you would get a flat rate and you can save on that. And, you can do this or you could do that, and I can connect you with this one. And, I have somebody that can do the remodeling for you, things like that. So I literally think about my transactions all the time. I'm very passionate about what I do, and I feel like for us to succeed in anything, it literally has to be 10x. 1x, 5x doesn't work. You have to be obsessed with what you are doing. So literally all day I'm living it. I would be thinking about at 12 at night. I would be thinking about a solution, and then I would be just sending an email that, hey, what if we do this, right? Or this could be a solution. Or, and I come up with so many ideas, literally solving their problems of my clients. And it's stressful, yes. And sometimes you don't get the same, what do you say, like, not feedback, but you don't get the same appreciation that you should get from your clients, because they only see you as an expense. And that is something that the clients need to change, especially when somebody is putting so much of effort into your deal, literally thinking about it, right? And spending so much energy and time. And time is everything. I could literally be reading, or I could literally go for a dance class or a yoga class. But if I'm thinking about your deal, I think I expect that appreciation, right? And no pushback with the compensation plan that I offer them. So that is how I think. And then whatever I think, I will put it out on social media that, okay, if you have this issue, then this is how I think you can navigate. I could be right or wrong. You could do your research, but this is what I think. I've done this before. It has worked. And I think you should try this. Right.
You come with a lot of experience. And I mean, just like being on the ground and doing it, it's like so much more, under your belt, just that experience of going through different transactions and figuring out all those different issues and problems, because there's always going to be a new one that pops up that you've never come across. And look, you just learned another one, and I'm sure it's happening. So I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, literally like how we have a walkthrough when we sell a home, right? The last few days, and we don't do that with hotels, but I think we should, because the last 2 hotels, we literally had people fighting over little things. So I'm like, okay, that's I learned something new, right? I mean, ideally we always tell them go back, but it's the distance is so much that most people don't want to. They literally don't even want to go on closing day, because you don't need to, right? Everything is so streamlined, luckily. But I think it's a wise idea, right? So something like that, which is very genuine, that I learned, that can save somebody thousands, right? Something like that.
Know your subject.
Be
passionate about it. And be authentic, and just whatever you're thinking is what you're putting out there.
They may like you, they may not like you, but we don't need to be liked by everybody, right?
just quickly going back to you on social media and using that as your lead generator.
Mm-hmm.
How quickly did you start seeing like people saying, "Oh, I saw you. Can you represent me?"
So for residential real estate, not that fast, but for commercial real estate, very quickly.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Because I feel like maybe I come across more passionate when I talk about that.
Really
because
do.
because that is something I think I know. It's more interesting, and it can make a huge amount of difference. With residential, there's a lot of emotions. In commercial, it's just numbers, and I enjoy that more because emotions, of course, are very important. And but if I had to buy a house, I would not look at it more than twice. And we bought homes without looking at them. Literally, when we do our 1031 and we sold one business, moved to another, we moved so many times. We literally, it's close to our business, 15 minutes, close to a private school, 15 minutes, close to church, 15 minutes, good neighborhood, let's go, right? Buy the house.
No overthinking.
Yeah. And we literally come to the house and we see it, it's an orange carpet. I'm like, oh, we didn't look at pictures. And I'm like, yeah, I did. Couldn't tell. No worries, we'll change the carpet. Big deal, right? So I'm like that. And when I meet clients in residential real estate, and they're also going to look at every nook on the table, I can't relate with them, right? So that would be so
like
difficult.
the numbers make sense. You're in the prime location. You just have
numbers.
So I did that the first transaction I had, and I told her that if you bought the house that's in the front by the pool, the resale value would be better. And she's laughing at me. She's like, what are you talking about? And this is my primary home. I said, yeah, but someday you're going to sell it. She said, no, you're not a good realtor.
Oh my God.
So then I realized that people don't think like we do, and they're not as flexible, and they'll not run on the spur of the moment. We literally would travel like, okay, tomorrow, Florida. Don't have a ticket, nothing. Yeah, I'll still go. We can come back in 2 days and attend the next thing. And my kids are like that too. They can do anything on the spur of the moment. We don't need that prior preparation and all that. And we'll do it, and we enjoy it, and we're okay with it.
And it works. And it works. The reason why people don't do that is because the fear of it not working.
Right.
So we just lean all the way
thing,
into it and jump in.
Yeah. I mean, if it doesn't work, it's okay, right? I always tell my son, it's okay. Don't rush. If you miss the flight, there's always another one. Go the next day. Stay over at the hotel at the airport.
All right. All right. That's a little much.
So, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So then the question was, what are you reading now?
What am I reading?
Yeah, what are you reading now?
No, this book I really like, so I brought it with me. But what am I reading now? So I read every single day, every morning. My first thing in the morning when I have my coffees, I have to read for 15 minutes because then that prepares me to face the world. Okay, so
That's
what's
a
your
really
morning
good
routine?
habit, yeah.
Is it wake up, read, I don't know, journal, I don't know, walk? What is your morning routine?
And so first, when I do my skincare in the morning, then I have the affirmations playing. So
you
I
do
have the app. Yeah, so I have that app that plays before that, like a gratitude prayer, right? And then after that would be reading for sure. So that's like a non-negotiable. Everything else is negotiable, but reading the 15 minutes, even if there's calls, then I would want to read first for 15, 20 minutes, get myself ready. So I'm in the right mindset to answer the right questions and start, So any positive mental attitude book it works for me. Like this one works for me. The Atomic Habits works for me. Think and Grow Rich works for me. Psycho-Cybernetics works for me. Think Like a Monk. So all those, So I keep on rotating between all those books.
Can you put us a list of that? So
sure.
I'd love a list because I've read a couple of them, but the cybernetics, someone does,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that would be great. We'll put it on our...
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to start the morning off learning positive mindset. So I enjoy hearing what your morning looks like.
Yeah.
And it's always a self-help book.
Yeah. I've not read any fiction books except in the book club.
For the book club, yeah.
Okay. One last question I just thought of the other day. What are you most looking forward to?
So there's one more thing that I'm working on is becoming a mindset coach with Shetty. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
Get
get
out.
certified.
Okay, I just got chills.
Yeah.
I got chills.
Yeah.
So wait, do you like know him, or it's a class he's doing?
No, it's a class. Yeah,
Okay.
certification course. So
Oh,
I feel
wow.
like when I want to slow down with this business, then I want to give back. And how do I give back? Is I think I could be a good teacher.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if I can be a mindset coach, and I feel like mindset is everything, so that could help people. So
Yeah.
I want to do that, and yeah. So
Okay,
that's
well,
my next thing.
that is
We could
exciting.
start a wait list underneath your. I mean, I'm signing up. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
excited about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I haven't started yet, but it's just a 6-month course. So when I put my mind to it, I'll do it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think, I mean, you're a great example of a great mindset. Like from your career, how you raised your children, your relationship with your husband. I mean, it sounds all like, yeah, just
It's very deliberate, right? It's not
It's-
just you really have put thought and effort and
Right,
feeling
yeah,
into
yeah.
how you want your life to be.
right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love that. Yeah, there are problems, but we like, okay, how do we figure it out? How do we overcome it? And like,
Yeah.
keep on going. It is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
We could all use that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
I know. Thank
welcome.
you
Yeah,
so
it was
much,
fun talking to
Sophie.
both of you.
Yes. No, we loved it. Thanks for all your insights and for your enthusiasm. We really
Thank you. Thank you.
appreciated it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a great thing you both of you are doing. I think it's really good for everybody. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and we're looking forward to when you
Yes.
become the mindset coach or
Coach.
you know, create your channel. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
we're already watching you on Instagram.
Yeah, it's fun how we
Thank
can
you.
help each other all the time.
All the time.
Absolutely.
Yep,
Yeah.
constant support, community of support.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Till next time.